So this is my first video previewing a playoff game. These are my favorite videos to make. I hope you guys enjoy these videos. These were my favorite videos to make last year when I first started this YouTube channel, because I can really get into, like, I feel like actual strategy and sort of previewing the games. I think it's just way more fun to do that than to just talk about a game after the fact. I can watch the tape, figure out certain intricate details about these teams, and try to figure out how they're going to match up against each other. I just always find this very fun. I hope you guys enjoy this as well. And so, for this first video, the first thing I'm going to talk about is going to be, can Tom Brady lead this Patriots offense? And more specifically, can he throw against this banged-up Tennessee Titans secondary? Because I think that's a very interesting thing to follow going into this first game. Well, I mean, obviously, the first game they're playing, the Texans-Bills game, is today's game, but you know what I mean. So, really, I mean, I think the key thing to watch is going to be, how do the Patriots receivers do against man coverage? Because you know man coverage is coming. You can't play zone against Brady, because then you can just simply run zone busters. He can pick them apart easily. You pretty much have no choice but to play man and hope that your defensive backs can beat their receivers one-on-one. And this season, that's happened a lot, with the Patriots receivers just not really being healthy and also not really showing up, the guys who have been healthy. And this play is a good example of that. This is actually on paper a great situation for the Patriots. It's going to be a cover one hole that they're going up against. And for the Patriots, I mean, they're going to have a receiver running that route right there. It's a deep curl route. It can definitely get open against this type of coverage. And it's going to work out pretty perfectly. I mean, take a look at what happens right after the ball is snapped. The receiver is going to do a pretty good job of getting open. There definitely is some space, but if you look at Brady's throw, that's the first thing that I noticed. The throw is a little bit too high, and, you know, his receiver is not able to make the grab on that one. And that's Philip Dorsett. You kind of would have liked to see both of them be able to be a little bit better on that one. I think Brady's throw was a bit too high and took a bit too long to get there, I think. You would have liked to see him have a bit more zip on it. And also, Dorsett, you just got to make that catch. I mean, it wasn't a perfect throw, but it is the kind of throw that you do have to catch. And it seems like that kind of thing happened a lot, where it's like these plays that aren't really Brady's fault, but also aren't really the plays that we've been accustomed to seeing Brady make. You know, we're used to Brady being able to make those throws easily 100% of the time, and that just hasn't happened. And also, on the other hand, we're used to seeing Brady have receivers who can make those pretty tough catches. So I think that, well, I mean, he's never had a Julio Jones necessarily. He's always, for the most part, had pretty sure-handed receivers, you know, like a few guys that he can trust. That hasn't happened this season for the most part, and I think it's something to worry about. Like this one, another perfect example, where it's going to be a cover 3 zone, and that's going to be Philip Dorsett's route. And so, again, great route against this type of coverage, because he's going to cut in, and since it's a cover 3, the defensive back's job on the top third of the screen, his job is to make sure he stays as far deep and as far towards the sideline of any other receiver. He can't let anybody get by him, and since this route starts off as though it could be a go route, this now means that there probably will be some separation, and there is going to be some separation. Again, as you see on paper, nothing crazy open, but there definitely is a window where the New England Patriots and Tom Brady should be able to make this play work. However, again, Brady's throw not quite as quick as you would like it to be, and a little bit high. You would have liked that throw to be a little bit further down and a little bit further to the sideline. It was not, and also you still would have liked to see that be a catch. So, again, those are the kind of things. They're nothing major. It's not like Brady is missing these throws by a wide margin, and it's not like his guys, for the most part, are dropping easy catches, although they definitely have had their share of drops. It's kind of just seems like there's these types of things where it's like they're not exactly running like a well-oiled machine like they have in past seasons. However, there is one guy that I would trust to find the Patriots. There is one guy that I think has a ton of talent. The problem is that one guy hasn't really played with the Patriots that much this season because he was hurt for a big part of it, and he is a rookie. It's N'Keal Harry. So he's someone who I think is a great player, but when he got hurt, it seemed like the Patriots were going to kind of say, okay, well, we weren't really able to put you in our system the way we wanted to when we drafted you, so now that you've come along late, we're kind of just going to try to see if you can just sort of be a role player here and there. Earlier on in the season, we kind of wanted to rely on you a little bit more, but we can't really do that right here because, you know, you haven't been healthy. However, now I think it's time to press the red panic button, and you know what? I would rather go out swinging, throwing to my most talented receiver, and with Edelman's injury, you know, I still don't think he's totally healthy. I think that the move is keep pounding it towards N'Keal Harry's way. I mean, like, look at this play. It's going to be one-on-one coverage, and he's just running a simple route down the field. Nothing too fancy, and he's not even really going to get that open right when the ball is snapped. I mean, there definitely is a good situation just with the defensive back's back being turned, but, you know, it's not like he's wide open. But look at what Brady does here. He's going to hit the back shoulder. Harry is able to adjust pretty well. He's able to come back and make the grab, and they get the ball inside the 10-yard line. And he's capable of making those types of plays. And so if I'm New England, I'm saying, let's force the ball Harry's way. He's our best receiver. He could make those types of catches, so let's get him the ball early and often. Honestly, I'm giving him like 15 targets because I just think that that's what they have to do right now. He's their best receiver, and at the very least, you could potentially hope that he can draw some double teams if you keep forcing it his way, and then make things easier on your other receivers. I still have hope with Sanu. I do feel like he hasn't been the same with his injury as well. They're just kind of banged up right now, but personally, I do think that Harry is the key to them beating the Titans. However, to transition a little bit, one of the biggest keys to beating the Tennessee Titans is just playing the Tennessee Titans right now because they're a very injured team. As banged up as the Patriots receivers are, at least they're on the field. I mean, the Titans, they have Adoree Jackson, who maybe will play. It hasn't been decided as of me recording this video now. And you also have, obviously, Malcolm Butler. So, they have some key injuries right now. And also, I mean, without those injuries, they really haven't been that great. I mean, they've given up, I believe it's the 7th most yards allowed through the passing game. So, you can definitely throw on these guys. Now, granted, when they're healthy, it's a totally different story. But, you know what? They're not healthy. And so, that's been a problem right now. And one more thing that I think they have to make sure they don't do is plays like this. Because this is just a mental error. It's going to be a cover 2 zone, and for Houston, what they're going to do is they're going to have their 2 receivers on the bottom half of the screen just run those 2 routes right there. It's a very simple zone buster. The way this play is designed to work is that since there's only going to be one Titan who's in charge of covering the bottom part of the screen, now he basically has 2 options. He could obviously go deep to take away the go route, or he could stay where he's at to take away the shallow route, but he has to choose one of those, and so ideally, what he should do is take away the go route, and then the other defensive back who's in charge of covering just one zone up, he should see this and make sure that he now transitions over and covers the flat. That's the way this play should work, at least until potentially you can pass off the guy who's running a go route into the zone who's deep, and then maybe you could continue covering the flat, but basically, you have to do something here. You have to communicate here. However, they just don't know what they're supposed to be doing. Because, I mean, if you look, they're both simply just hanging out in the zone they usually hang out at. So, now, at this point, the guy who is a little bit further up, he's covering nobody. And while, yes, the Texan who's in charge of covering the flat is covering the flat and taking away a player in the area, he's leaving somebody completely wide open behind him because the safety isn't in that area either. So, they just don't know what they're supposed to be doing right now, which is allowing a Texan to get wide open. Now, Watson took too long to realize this and ends up actually throwing an interception right there. Give credit to Vicardo right there. He did a great job of realizing that he screwed up, or somebody screwed up. I'm not sure who it was, but realizing somebody screwed up, running over and getting the interception. So give him some credit from that regard. But at the same time, you can't be making those kind of mistakes against Tom Brady. He will realize them, and he will realize them quickly. And one of the key things that's going to matter is the fact that they have had injuries. Now some of these guys that were supposed to be in backup roles have to really step up. And this is an example of a guy not stepping up. This is going to be Trey Smith going up one-on-one against Kenny Stills. And watch what happens right when this ball is snapped. So Stills runs up, and at this point, there are a few things Stills could be doing. He could be cutting in, he could be cutting out, he could run deep. Those are pretty much the main 3 things he could be doing. That's what it appears as though he's doing. And now Stills is a pretty quick guy, so it's understandable to get beat by him. But watch what's going to happen when Stills fakes as though he's going up and then goes down. I mean, he just completely burns Smith, gets wide open, and that's too easy of a touchdown. And you just can't let that kind of thing happen if you're Tennessee against the Patriots. You can't give them free touchdowns. Unfortunately, they're playing hurt, but they're going to have to step up. Somebody is going to have to step up because if, again, N'Keal Harry can make those types of moves. So you don't want to let him make those types of moves against you and get burned that badly because Brady will not miss those throws. Yes, there has been some errors sometimes with the Patriots, but you get that open, I mean, I could throw it to you at that point. So that's something I would be a little bit worried about. And another thing that this kind of goes back to my first point is communication. You have to know what you're doing. And this play that just something went wrong. So Tennessee is in a cover one hole concept, and that's the route that Watson is going to try to throw this ball to. Logan Ryan is in charge of covering him. He's probably Tennessee's best corner at this point, just with all the injuries. And watch what's going to happen right when the ball is snapped. As of right here, the play's over. And you're thinking, wait a second, no it's not. There's still plenty that can happen on this play. It's only been one step. But I don't care. One step is all that Tennessee needed on this one to not be able to make a play. Because you look at Ryan, he is giving up the inside leverage. And listen, there is some logic behind that, but the problem is that they're just not on the same page here, and they don't exactly know where their help is. I mean, his safety, who is deep, is taking away top half of the screen. So this now means that because Logan Ryan is basically allowing a Texan to get inside of the field, this is a bad situation. I mean, just watch. He's able to get to the inside, but since the safety goes away, this now makes it for pretty wide open, actually, for there to be a completion. I mean, that's NFL wide open for sure. And also, not to mention that, but Ryan also grabbed his jersey, so he got a holding penalty. And he also, despite getting a holding penalty, wasn't even able to slow him down, and he still wasn't able to make the play. Getting beat is one thing. Like, listen, I get it. You know, that play I showed you earlier, that one's kind of forgivable in a sense, because it's like, okay, you got beat. It sucks, but it does happen, especially when you're going up against talented NFL receivers. But when you're just making mental mistakes, that's when there's a problem. And that is my biggest concern about the Titans going into this game. If I were a Titans fan, that's what I'd be concerned about. I mean, you cannot let those things happen, especially against Tom Brady. That being said, they aren't necessarily going up against the most talented of competition against the New England Patriots. The receivers have been a little bit weak, so I think this is actually going to be very interesting. And I think that this game could actually be a lot more high scoring than people realize. My next video is going to be A.J. Brown going up against Stephon Gilmore and how that thing could work out. So be on the lookout for that one. But I think that there actually could end up being more scoring in this game than people realize going in, because they think, okay, two pretty good defenses, this will probably be low scoring. I don't actually know if that's going to be the case. I really don't. I think this should be a very fun game, but without a doubt, one of the key things I'm looking forward to is, can the receivers get open in man coverage, and will Brady be able to make those great throws to hit them? Because so far this season, that hasn't always gone the case. And also, of course, will the Tennessee Titans secondary be able to step up, or will they crumble and allow the Patriots to just pass all over them? But that's just my opinion. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and as always, thanks for watching.